Hello, 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 friends, and welcome back to another episode of Fit Chicks Unfiltered. I'm Ashley,
And I'm Callie.
and we have a good one for you guys. So we're hoping that this will be out soon. Even if it comes out a little late, there's still so much Arnold tea that I'm sure you all are digesting. The Arnold did its big one this past week. There was so much drama, so much tea. You know we love drama. Today, we're covering the top three in bikini and in wellness. If we have time, I would love to talk about some of the tea that popped off in the Arnold this past week because there was a lot.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always open to hear tea, so I hope you spill new tea that I haven't heard.
You know I will, girl. You know I'm all up in it. If it has nothing to do with me, I am in it.
Yeah. Not my tea, but everyone else's tea.
Everybody else's tea. So yeah, let's get after it. So do you want to start with wellness or bikini?
Let's start with wellness because there's
Okay.
three well,
Three.
yeah. Let's do that.
There's
That sounds
three,
good.
yeah. There's three wellness competitors that got top three, we should say. So we're gonna go over the top three. We're gonna share our screen. So guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you'll see the comparisons. If you're not watching on YouTube, sorry for you. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. The baby.
He's fine. He's just got opinions in the background.
Yes, he does.
He's like, I got top three preferences as well, Mom.
Top three preferences as well. Okay. Okay, friends. So right now we're looking at Rayanne. And so for those of you who are new to bodybuilding or are interested in possibly competing and you know nothing, right? So when it comes to wellness, and Kelly, you can kind of help me speak to this as well. The major differences between wellness and bikini is that lower half. The wellness girly pops have glutes, they've got quads, they've got hamstrings. Not to say that the bikini girls don't, but the wellness girls, the look is I'd say a bit more hourglass because the bikini girls, you guys are supposed to be like an X, but you also have an hourglass figure as well.
Yeah, I would just say like wellness, in my opinion, has much more predominance in the lower half. And I've
Yeah.
even heard lately they're trying to, and who knows, I don't know if punish or deduct points, I guess is the right term for wellness if their upper body is becoming too big because wellness does have that very like strong set of glutes, hams, much more quad, and you can obviously see like a little more density and hardness to the muscle
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
versus bikini is going to still have that X factor to where it's super hourglass. Like even in her back pose right here, you can see that the X, if you were to create an X, it's bigger on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom half. And
Exactly.
her muscle is super dense and cut, and you even see some striations in certain points versus bikini where they're looking for a much it's fullness, but not as dense, I guess.
Right, right. And so Ryan Fogel, she is Brazilian. And number two was Elisa, I think it's pronounced Elisa. She is from the Dominican Republic. And number three was Alexis Nicole, who is from the good old US of A. And some of the tea we're talking about has to do with Alexis's boyfriend. Wow, Martin the Martian. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, Alexis, she just won Portugal. Rayanne has won a crap load. And honestly, not to side note really quick, because we are short on time today, friends. So let us know below in the comments or in the DMs if you want a part two, if this is feeling rushed and you want us to go through it. But I looked up how old Rayanne was because, you know, Callie and I were very similar in age. We're in our like mid 30s. And I don't know, like sometimes I just think about the fact that I'm looking at hitting stage next year. I'll be 37. I'm trying to get my pro card, blah, blah, blah. Rayanne is like fucking 42.
She
And
is, yes. Oh, I
yes,
freaking love it.
yes. And I was looking
A
at all of
master's
these,
girly.
girl, all top three are in their 30s. Like there's nobody in the top three are like 22, 23 years old. And so I just feel like the internet has like faked us out to make us think that like if you look at bodybuilding slash social media influencers, without saying names, because no shade to these girly pops, I follow them, I love their content, But in that genre, in that area, they're all in their like early to mid 20s. So it can kind of make you feel like you're behind if you're
Right.
coming into this sport in your 30s. So to see these women who are at the top of the top getting Olympias and shit in their 40s, like look at her body. That
Yeah.
is a 41-year-old woman.
I love that. And also, too, another thing I would say is like muscle maturity is huge, right?
It's
So,
huge,
like, if you
huge.
compare, at least when I think about myself in my younger years, in my 20s, my muscle maturity was not there, and versus now it's
Right.
getting more and more to where I'm more pleased with my look overall versus like before, if I were to
I
go in a
am,
cut, I
yeah,
would be like, oh, it's really not there. Or my mind muscle connection isn't as strong. So,
100%. So to keep it going with wellness, they love the tapered waist. The smaller the waist, the better. And you notice her hair is down to cover the back. And I've seen a lot of these questions about that. That is kind of done on purpose. The back isn't as important in wellness. And so for the women to have their hair down when they're hitting that back pose, it's mainly because they don't want it to be a distraction. Especially, the girly pops will do that to kind of hide their shoulders. If their shoulders, to speak to what you were saying, Callie, are a little big, the
mhm,
hair can hide the shoulders because they want all their focus to be down here in the glutes and that quad sweep and the hamstrings. That's where they
mhm.
want the attention to be. Also, to note too, in this front pose here, and we'll get to the other two soon. The one major thing with wellness is you should be able to see that glute from the front. You want to be able to see the glute and you want to be able to see the quad from
Mm-hmm.
the front.
Absolutely. And
So,
that glute ham tie separation from the back pose is really nice. And you can see a lot of the
so
quad even from the
nice.
back pose.
Hmm.
And I love the color choice. I mean, I know red is like a big color in bikini for like a winner's color. I guess there was many years of like red being the it color. And then it kind of faded a little bit. So I'm happy to see the red make a comeback again too.
It's huge in wellness. This past Olympia, 2025 Olympia, like all the wellness competitors were in red. All of them.
It's coming back.
I mean, look at them now. So this is number two, Elisa from the DR. So these two were really duking it out for one and two at the Arnold this year, both of them. One of the
Wow.
things I
A
know,
lot of
right?
difference in the glutes and
I
like the
was,
tie-in.
yeah, uh-huh. And also the waist. So some of the feedback that they were saying was that Rayanne's waist was just a bit tighter. And ladies and gents that are listening, you guys are like, these women are fucking in insane shape. What are we talking about? The waist tighter. These are the micro differences in bodybuilding. The
Hmm.
micro look at that difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's insane.
It's totally insane. But they both did
And
a
the
really
walk
great
too.
job. Um, and I know too, like it can be no, I feel like no matter who I've spoken to, no matter how many shows you've done, no matter what, when you get on stage, like it is such a nerve-wracking experience to then keep your routine, come off as poised. Like I'm sure, and I know from when I've competed, like at home, you've got the routine down. It's like easy peasy, you
Hmm.
can do it in your sleep. And then when you're on stage and you're nervous, I mean, it takes a whole nother level to continue to lock in and not get distracted. So I think they both did a really great job of like holding it together, especially on such a big stage. It's the second biggest stage, you know,
It
outside of,
is.
yeah, the Olympia.
It
So,
is. Um, Yeah, Arnold was popping off, talking his shit, talking about when you guys come to the Arnold, you back. So now looking at Elisa's, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, her walk right now, you can still see she has great glutes off to the side, and that side pose is beautiful. I think we underestimate how hard these competitors work when it comes to posing. It's absolutely insane. These girly pops are working days, hours, hours for one day. Isn't it crazy how, like, we do all of this, like, preparation for 5 minutes on stage?
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And I mean, this is like a whole year and you have to think about it. It's years leading up to this. It's off
Mm
multiple off seasons, multiple on seasons,
hmm. Mm
like
hmm.
you said, just hours and hours and hours in a day of practicing posing. It really
Yeah.
consumes your life. And I mean, there are some really big prizes too. I was thinking about it. Like I think what if you win first? What's the dollar amount? Isn't it like six figures?
That's for like the boys. That's a whole nother freaking
So the women
episode.
don't get anything?
No, we get money, but not as much as the boys. It's not six figures. It's like five figures. I think bikini and wellness, like number one, gets something like 10K and it goes down from there. But like men's bodybuilding division gets something like 100K. And like I could be inflating those numbers, but I'm not off. The difference is huge.
I feel
It's
like I
huge.
saw like 150 somewhere.
I did not. When I saw it yesterday, I'll send you the TikTok. Somebody broke it down yesterday to what the women got for the Arnold for bikini and wellness versus the men. I
Oh,
saved
wow.
it. Yeah,
Wow.
I know. And I was like kind of surprised.
Ooh, that one
But
pose right there. I'm still
when she
watching.
stopped and looked off to the
Yes.
side, I know. Yeah, and what's nice about posing, and so girly pops, if you're listening and you're like, what's this whole posing thing? So in bikini and in wellness, we all have different poses that we're supposed to be looking at and looking for. And so for wellness, you've got mandatories. You've got that side pose, which you guys are seeing right now. And then the judges will be like, okay, quarter turn to the right. And that's them quarter turning their transitions. And then there's their back pose that they're hitting. So this is a really good look at their back poses right here. You can see Rayanne is coming in just a bit more conditioned,
Yeah.
to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
you could look at that side pose, the difference. They both
Hmm.
look great, but Rayanne is just a bit more conditioned.
Yeah. Yeah, you're seeing more muscle separation.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And her waist is a bit more tight. So really quickly, we'll show you guys number three, Alexis, and then we'll move over into bikini. So this is our girl Alexis. She's tight. She's hulky. You know, why she got number three. I think it's important to note here that bodybuilding is a very subjective sport. It depends on who is judging that day. It depends on what the judges are looking for that day. You notice Alexis's back pose, she had a bit more of a wider stance than the other two girls.
Hmm.
I feel like sometimes that wide stance can make you look a bit horse-like.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was a little bit wide. You want to make sure,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, she looks phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Like, wow.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I like the overall look
That,
too.
yeah. Her side pose is beautiful. Beautiful. She has a little less glute than the other two girls too.
She's much shorter, right?
She is. She's a short queen. Yeah,
Hmm.
she's like 5 foot, 5'1". And in wellness, you know, the short girls rule in wellness. It's kind of rare to be a taller girl in wellness. I'm like 5'6.5", and I'm considered tall for wellness. I that just has to do with muscle bellies, though. Like it's not a disadvantage that if a 5'9" girl wants to do wellness, it's just that you may have to work a little harder to get those muscles, those leg muscles to pop than like a 5 foot even girl.
Yeah, if you've got, and I mean, in my opinion, as a tall girly, I might be biased, but I think it takes a lot more to get more of that like dense,
I
rounder
agree.
looking muscle when you're tall. I
I
think that's
agree.
just the facts of it.
I agree.
Um, but and also too, I think there is like a hot spot in competing to where there's like different. Okay, so there's obviously the different divisions in competing, and then there's the different classes, and the classes are broken down by height, and then obviously then the top people in each class then compete against each other for overall. And I feel like it's always around, and it depends on how many people are in there, but I feel like it's always around the B class or people that are like that mid tier of 5 foot for the female categories that are the most like they are popping off with people, and it's the most competitive.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of
No.
tall girls. I mean, there are, but
Mm-mm.
it's not like that's the dominant space. I feel like it's anywhere from like that 5'3" to under 5 foot range.
And you can see Rand's quad sweep is a bit more defined than Elisa's here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you guys watch the Arnold live, you'll notice they already had 1 and 2 figured out, and once they did, they told 1 and 2, Rayanne and Elisa, to move over so they could figure out 3 through 8, which is why we're not seeing much of the three of them together. I looked all over the internet to see if I could get the three of them together. Really hard to find because of how they judged.
I
But you
noticed
guys
that too.
essentially, yeah, yeah. But you guys kind of get the picture. Let's talk bikini.
Okay. So
Bikini is a hot topic this year.
yeah, bikini is a hot topic, and I feel like all three of these women did so well. They looked
They
so
did.
amazing.
I've been
Um,
following all three of their journeys too. Yeah.
yeah. And I like there was something about Amy when she came out and she hit when she was doing her eye walk back to the back and she did it was like where you see that 3/4 where you see a lot of the glute. I think I sent you her routine. Yeah, I'll point to it once it comes out. But
God, she's beautiful. Look at that
absolutely
suit.
stunning. The suit is amazing. Her
Oh,
shape is amazing. Now, the controversy here is like, okay, so with Laura Lee, she was 2024 Miss Olympia. She came back 2025, placed sixth. And then this year was supposed to be her comeback, So there was
yeah.
a lot of people rooting for her with this, which was really exciting. And I think she looked phenomenal. However, when you look at Amy compared to Laura Lee, there's just like an overall, once again, a reoccurring factor here with density. And this is how it's a little bit different for bikini versus wellness. But um, Laura Lee just looks a little more dense and hard with her muscle, and
I would
absolutely like
agree.
segmented. And once again, she looked phenomenal. But here, it's more of that full glute, full shoulder cap,
Soft.
a little bit more soft. And not that
Mm-hmm.
more muscle isn't feminine, but I keep seeing the word like soft feminine added within the bikini division now, which is hot. And it's so crazy when you look at the different. Oh, I missed the point to call out the back pose,
Yeah,
but
you were on a roll though. You were on a roll. I loved everything you said. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
totally missed it. But I mean, I could watch her routine over and over again. And
Over and over.
I loved watching everyone's different, how they like spiced it up for themselves. Um, but what was I going to say? Oh, watching bikini over time. Back in the day, Fit Model, the front pose was actually the bikini front pose that they were
Mm.
so heavily judged on. And that's changed over time. And there's more, like, look at that right there.
Mm.
That pose, amazing. And then when she walks back here, hold on. Right there. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Beautiful.
I saw that and I was
Beautiful.
like, I want Amy to win. And
She has improved so much from last time we saw her.
yeah. Yeah, she,
Like, I don't remember her coming in. Last time I saw her compete, I don't remember this. I don't remember her. I don't remember this. Like, she's always looked great, but like, I just feel like she has just upgraded. Like, whoa.
yeah, she totally has.
Wow.
I think she got her pro card, or she won the Pittsburgh Pro in 2023. And then she won. I went and did some looking into her, but on 2024 she also won the San Diego Championship Pro, and then defended her
Oh,
title again for
see,
the New York Pro. Yeah,
and not to interrupt you, but I hope you guys are seeing, if you're watching the visual, look at, like, to nod a nod to what Callie was saying. Laura Lee looks great, but there's a huge difference
hmm
in what we just saw.
especially the lower body for me when you look
Mm-hmm.
at Laura Lee's glutes, um, and then her hamstrings compared to Amy's and even Ashlyn Little's. They all look different with their lower body, especially.
All
She
these
did
girls are
so good.
just,
I love the color of her suit too.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
yeah,
apparently in 2025, I think Amy got fourth in the Olympia as well, if I'm remembering correctly. So she's been
something like that.
slowly
Yeah,
inching her way up.
she has. And I think it's important to note, like, so when we just saw wellness, you saw all the muscle development, especially in the lower body. In bikini, they don't want that as much. Like, something I saw was that Laura Lee's glute ham tie-ins were a bit too visible, which hurt her in bikini. And so when it comes to competing, ladies, you can compete in any division you want to. It's just about growing into that division that you're supposed to do. I just want to go back to Amy really quick so that you all can really see the difference here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, when
Yeah,
she hits her front pose.
yeah.
Yeah, see the difference in
Massive
her glute.
difference.
And what's super important too is that upper glute in bikini.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that there's the glute ham tie, but if you were thinking about how we were just looking at wellness, right there,
Mm-hmm.
you're not seeing as clear of a separation. Yes, there's a separation, and obviously there's still a glute ham tie present, but it's not as severe.
As if we just go up really quick, let's just go to Alexis's super quick. Like look you look at the difference in even that pose.
Uh-huh.
Like the I hope you guys are like seeing these minute differences, but if you really know what you're looking for, they're not minute at all. They're kind of very drastic.
Mm-hmm.
Even the arm density, like look at that.
Yeah, see, that's like those are different shapes. They're not like
Yeah.
shapes blending into each other. Those are
Mm-hmm.
shapes.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very much so. Let's take a look at Ashlyn Little.
And
She's
she she's
cute.
she's a short queen. Yeah, she is super
Mm-hmm.
cute, and you can tell that she is shorter. And I think
Yeah.
Amy is 5'2", and then Laura Lee, I think she's closer to our height, more than
She
the
is. I think she's like 5'6", 5'7". Yeah.
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 Which I'm always rooting for tall girly as well.
Same.
I don't
Same.
know,
Same.
there's something
Same.
about it because I like we spoke about it that's a lot more muscle you have to put on.
It's so true. And just a shout out to the age group again. All these women that we're looking at, these are women. Like I'm not coming for any of the 20 somethings that listen to us. I'm just saying us 30 somethings. Sometimes you Gen Zers have us feeling a little old and in our feelings. So it's just really nice to see these like big stages and these women that are in their mid 30s, early 40s popping off doing their big one. It's refreshing, and it's just a reminder that it's never too late to get into this sport if this is something that you're interested in doing. You just have to start.
Also, I will say, yeah, that was really well said, Ashley. But I will say, I loved Ashlyn's glutes and hamstrings and quad. The whole front pose of the lower half. I really liked the fullness there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
do you know by chance when you were doing your research, did you find out why she placed third against the other two? Like what was she lacking in judge feedback? Did you get any of that?
No, I didn't. And I feel like I might have seen somewhere that it came down to also like not that her posing wasn't great. It's great, but it might have been some of posing. But I'd be curious to know like the actual judges' feedback between the three of them and what separates
See,
it. I think Amy's stood out because her overall fullness and
I was gonna say, to me, she's looking a bit too soft. There is this like, what do they call it? This Goldilocks energy that you kind of need in bodybuilding. Like Ashlyn looks great, but then especially when she goes to her back pose, like let's get her to her back pose. She looks fantastic, and notice her quads, friends. Her quads look good, but I want to compare her to our winner. Our winner, she just like Ashlyn looks a bit too soft, and then Laura Lee looks a bit too hard. Do you
hmm
know what I mean?
yeah, Amy's somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And honestly, in wellness too, they're going for that. And that was very apparent in last year's Olympia. If you all streamed it or watched it or even got the cliff notes, the judges in general in bodybuilding are gearing away towards like Hulk mommies, not to be confused with muscle mommies. They don't want these what do they call them, like mass giants coming in, especially in the wellness division. It's a big deal where these women are pumping themselves filled with PEDs and just become mass monsters and becoming mass monsters. They do want this like look that's somewhere in the middle when it comes to bodybuilding, which I love because that's the look that I want too, you
Yeah,
know.
I love that too. And I think it's, and I mean, it's not knocking anyone using PEDs, but at the same time, I would like it to return to something that is like more naturally attainable. You know what I mean?
Because you get to a certain level and you feel like in order to be competitive, you have to use PEDs, and it's just not the
Yeah,
case.
right, right. Completely.
And just going back to Laura Lee, you guys see how lean she is? Like, I just feel like she's a bit too conditioned. Like, there was just a bit too much cardio happening.
hmm
Her stage presence, though.
I
Oh
loved
my
that
God.
slow hand sweep that she just did. Yeah, so exaggerated and slow. It's really nice.
Sexy.
Yes. And also too, it's one thing that I notice and I pay attention to when people walk out on stage is like their boppiness. Like if you and that I don't know if that's the right word, but like when you saw Ashlyn walk out, she has a little more energy to her. She has a little bit more of a bounce. And then when you look at Laura Lee, she's very slow, intentional. There's a little bit more. I don't know. There's a little bit more of a sultriness to it
Yeah. And
versus
you know,
this. Hmm.
yeah, and you know, I think it's kind of like your walk personality. Like I remember
Hmm.
like starting to learn posing and learning about that you know, you can come out with that bop, that energy, or you can be a bit more sexy, like I'm here
Slow it
bitches.
down. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that a little
Me
bit
too.
more. Hmm.
Me too. Me too.
And I think too, it gives you time to really like digest what you're looking at and pay attention. Like even when she took her hand out so slow, I found myself being able to
Yeah.
look at each part of her muscle groups, like the anatomy in
Mhm.
general, not just like, oh, okay, paying attention. What catches my eye first?
So stinking beautiful. The one thing that I didn't love that I saw Laura Lee do, look at her eyes. Whenever she looks up, you can tell she's looking at the crowd. Like, bitch, if you don't look at those judges, like you're supposed to be like making eye contact with the judges.
Mm,
And like the thing about it too is a lot of these girls, you know, look at her, she's looking everywhere else.
yeah.
They have social media followings, you know. Laura Lee has been dropping YouTube videos like it is her job.
Hmm.
After she did her YouTube video about what happened at the Olympia, if you guys didn't peep that, long story short, Laura Lee got eighth at the Olympia. She was the reigning Olympian. Everybody knew that she was off her game. She was going through a breakup, lots of personal things happening. She wasn't herself and she knew it. And ever since then, she dropped that YouTube video and she's just been on it like every single week. Laura Lee's uploading a new YouTube video, which is great because we want to follow along on the journey. You guys best believe that we will be covering our journeys when it's time for us to step on stage. But I do think a part of this whole routine is making sure you have eye contact with the judges. I know that is what I did. When I was on stage, I looked them dead in their face, and I think that helped my placing because my posing was not ready. So,
Yeah. Just a little stroke of the ego for the
I,
judges.
I looked them dead in their eyes. I was like, I don't care if my posing isn't ready. This stage presence is about to hit, bro. I'm about to come up here like I am number one poser of the evening. And I think it really did help my placing. So
Posing is weighed very heavily,
it's
and I think
hard.
that's one thing in bodybuilding that people kind of sometimes mistakenly think of as an afterthought when they're new to
Yeah.
the sport. But it's not just about the package that you're bringing; it's about the
Mm-mm.
overall presentation as well.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
There is a
Um,
pageantry to all of it.
yeah, and that's what I love about bodybuilding though. The pageantry of it all. Like show day is my favorite.
Hmm.
It's my favorite day. Like people get like, show day. I love the suits. I love getting glammed up. I love the jewelry. I love the makeup. I love going out there and being like, judge my body.
Yeah.
Judge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Tell me what I need to improve on.
exactly. And tell me what I place and tell me I look better than that girl.
Yeah.
I love it. So good. So good.
So hold on, hit me with the tea because I'm itching.
Oh
What
yeah,
is
we
the
do have
tea?
time. Okay. So, okay. So Martin the Martian, this is Alexis's boyfriend. Long story short, he was called out for bad sportsmanship at the Arnold. So he was going through and like slapping everybody up. In my personal opinion, those men get a little testosterone driven on show day. Like they're kind of intense. Every show I've watched, it's like, okay, boys, let's sit on down. Um, they're every show I've watched. The men are just like the women are all demure and they're all cute, and the men are like, yeah, move, let me pose, front double bicep, get out of the way. Like everybody calm down. So that's what happened. And he like didn't like slap somebody up and then was accused of
Yes.
shoving someone.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if he did or not. I was watching the replays looking for it. So long story short, all of his brand sponsors dropped him.
Oh my gosh.
All did, including Raw Nutrition.
Oh
So then
no.
today or yesterday he posted, I hate this sport. You guys all got what you wanted. I'm stepping back from bodybuilding. Wah. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm a Sagittarius. Okay, like
Well, this is the tea
you,
segment. This
this
isn't
is
like
the tea segment. So yeah, everybody dropped him. He said he's taking a step back, and so now like everybody's like, it's clear that he's not mentally well. And I don't want to call this PED related, but it
um
sounds like it's PED related.
I
Um,
I agree.
so yeah, and he is a good bodybuilder. He's good at what he does. He shows up. He bodybuilds everywhere. Like him and Alexis bodybuild all around the world. Like I said, they just went to Prague. They do multiple shows multiple times a year. I almost was coached by Alexis. I interviewed her as a coach before I went with Brittany Justice Holloman. Um and like Alexis was great. I just felt like Brittany was a better fit. She's a Leo. But anyways, so yeah, so that's what happened there. And then also there were multiple bodybuilders who were working with multiple coaches. So when awards time came out and bodybuilder A came up to get his award, the coach would come up like, "Yeah, we did a good job." And then the other coach would also come up not knowing about the other one.
Ooh.
So yeah, that happened with multiple bodybuilders. First of all, why? Like listening to my one coach is hard for me, let alone two or three or four.
Yeah.
And that also shows a distrust in the coach that you chose because
Yeah.
you feel like you need a second opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's interesting. And
isn't that interesting?
I have seen his face all over the place. And there is something, in
Yeah.
my opinion, someone who played sports like all growing up and into their like adult life, like sportsmanship is everything. That's such a
Yeah.
big piece of it. How you hold
I was
yourself,
going to
how you
ask you what you thought about that.
Yeah, I think that's in poor taste to be a bad sport like that. I did see something like he walked past and didn't shake someone's hand. Like there was obviously beef. Like at the end of the day, like people are watching you, people are observing your behavior and what's being awarded regardless, even if there's like
Yeah.
younger eyes in the audience or not. But like I don't know, there's a part of that like we talked about earlier, the pageantry of it all, and a lot of it is handling yourself as a good sport. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I think that is a piece of it.
I agree. And so to play devil's advocate,
Please do.
look, she turned off the comments on this post.
Uh-oh. Probably. I probably getting slammed.
Let me see here. Martin. Oh, he deactivated all of his stuff. Let's see if it's true. You guys are all up in my Instagram right now. I don't even care. How do I get to him? Darn it all. Okay, we'll just do that later. I can't have you guys all up in there. Okay. Stop sharing. All right. So I want to play
Get
devil's
out my
advocate.
DMs.
I know, right? I'm like, those of you watching the visual, like, are gonna do some weird internet shit. Like, love you guys, but AI is getting crazy, okay?
It is.
So,
It is.
um, so really quickly to play devil's advocate, there was a TikTok I saw about how like sportsmanship is everything, but there's also bad sportsmanship everywhere, specifically thinking about like the hockey area and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah, so like what are your thoughts on that? Because and again, to play devil's advocate, there is bad sportsmanship everywhere and all he really did was just snub somebody. Was it worth losing all his brand deals? I feel like it's a little harsh.
I feel like it's a little harsh as well, but at the same time, like I don't know. That's what those brands decide to associate with. You can't give
Yeah,
everyone a pass. Like it's what they are putting their name on
that's true.
an individual,
That's
and if it
very
doesn't
true.
align with their brand or what they stand for, then
That's what they said. Raw Nutrition made a statement and said, certain behavior and activities don't align with our core values. And those of you looking to get brand deals and brand sponsorships, I want you to take that into consideration. If you have your eye on a brand, I want you to take a look at their core values, and do their core values align with yours? Core values isn't just like a term or a statement that's just thrown around. When you're creating a brand and a business, that is something that a creator, an entrepreneur, a brand, they take a long time to consider and think about what their core values are, because that's the energy they're putting out into the universe.
Yeah, someone worked very hard to build that brand. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, if I worked really hard to build a brand like that and someone wanted to have that sportsmanship and it didn't align with what I thought was ideal or representative of someone to win at that level, sorry, congrats, but we're not going to sit at that table either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's
the harsh
crazy.
reality of it. And that's why, I don't know. I kind of die on that hill a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just think there's a certain amount of like holding yourself at a certain standard, especially when you've won. There's no need to like snub other people, like sit in the glory of the fact that you just won something, not being spiteful.
Right. Right. No, I fully agree. I agree. So before we head out, friends, we got a lot of feedback on the Arnold on both of our pages and on our Fit Chicks Unfiltered page. And so, question to you all, do you want to hear more bodybuilding content? Let us know if you do. And what is it that you want to hear? Like, do you want us to talk about our splits, how we're practicing posing, bodybuilders that we fuck with hard, bodybuilders that we don't? Bodybuilding season is getting started. The bodybuilders I follow, I keep seeing them saying, getting ready for prep, coming off of off season. Like, it's giddying up right now. And I know, like, I watch bodybuilding shows. I find them highly, highly motivating. I just changed my cover on my phone to Jaden. She's goals.
I love that.
Oh yeah. The way that I want to prep right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. And friends too, I'm going to start talking more about my surgery because you guys have been asking a lot about that. We'll talk about that in the next episode. My doctor, my surgery, the whole shebang, what my doctor does in case you're curious, and all that good stuff. But I can't prep until we get this fucking tummy tucked. So.
Also, I think we should, I want to know if you guys want to hear more about GLP-1s because I kind of want to revisit that as well.
Oh yeah, let's fucking talk about it, especially with this Retta situation coming out. Everybody's talking about Retta right now. I've heard a lot of mixed things on Retta. Let us know. We clearly have a lot of ideas. So, DM us. You have our Instagrams, they're down below. You can also just DM us directly at Fit Chicks Unfiltered. And as per usual, like and share the episode, comment. It goes such a long way. And subscribe if you are not subscribed. And we love you. And thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. We love you. And I'm excited for what we're going to talk about next.
Same. Bye.
Bye.